Would you like to give your kitchen a different look, a remodeling for under $100 to go from this to this? Then keep on watching this video. Hi friends, my name is Delia Mireya. For this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I added my tile adhesives. I purchased these from Amazon and I will leave you the exact link in the description box below. I will also try and find the exact paint that I purchased. I purchased everything from Lowe's. I was undecided at first. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go with white kitchen cabinets or black. I ended up going with black, and now months later, I'm like, now I want to paint it white. But this color has stayed for 2 years now. I can't believe that it's taken so long for me to share this video with you guys. Finally, I decided to share it today. So keep on watching this video if you'd like to learn step by step on how to paint your kitchen cabinets, on how to apply the tile adhesives, and I will be giving you some tips as well, because the first time I purchased these tile adhesives, which were a bit thick, I wasn't sure about these ones because they're a bit thin. They've lasted 2 years and the other ones were peeling off. So I'm going to be giving you some tips, so please make sure to watch the whole video. You don't want your tile adhesives to be peeling off, so I'm going to be giving you some great tips for the tile adhesive to last a long time. Keep on watching this video. This is back in 2007, the first time that I tried applying the backsplash tile adhesive that I purchased from Amazon. I like the color, I like the thickness, I like that it was very easy to apply, but let me tell you that it was my fault. I did not apply it the proper way, which is why a couple of weeks later it started to peel off. Several months later, I think even a year later, is when I decided to apply another backsplash tile adhesive that I also purchased from Amazon, but this time I wanted to do it the proper way. So I made sure to read instructions and to get well informed on how to do it. I was actually afraid to try it a second time, which is why it took me almost a year to buy some more. And another thing that I did wrong is that I didn't measure. I didn't do the measurements right. So actually I needed more of the tile adhesive and I never got to buying some more, which I'm so glad I didn't, because it would have ruined the whole wall. Some of the paint was peeling off. Now for the first step, you're going to apply something to clean your wall if you don't have any adhesives. I had to start from peeling them off first, and I had the help from a hairdryer. It really did help so much to soften that adhesive, and it was easy to remove. Now for the first step, if you don't have some tile adhesives, you're just going to use something to clean your walls, as I mentioned in the beginning. TSP or some goof off to remove any grease or anything. Just make sure that your walls are very clean. You can also use a mixture with vinegar, water, and Dawn dish soap, whatever you have to clean your walls. Now the paint was a bit bubbly, so I had to use a scraper to remove that bubbly paint, because the adhesives that I had on before, it ruined my wall. So I had to scrape some of that paint. As I mentioned, it was a bit bubbly. If I would have applied the new tile adhesives without cleaning it or removing that bubbly paint, then my adhesive would have peeled off already, which is why I wanted to do it the proper way. Now once I removed that paint or scraped it off, I cleaned it with a TSP and some goof off, but then I wanted to give it another clean with the vinegar just to be safe. I dried it off with a fan and then I used a sanding sponge. The first backsplash that I purchased was a bit thick and the back part was the sticker part. Now the second one that I purchased was a bit thin and I was a bit iffy at first, but then I ended up liking it. This one comes with a protective plastic layer in the front, and it also comes with a sticker part in the back. You can either remove the plastic protective in the front before getting started, but I did that at first, but then when I applied the rest of them, I decided to do that at the end because some of the spray adhesive was actually getting on the top part when I was applying them, so I decided to do that after. This is exactly how I did it. I grabbed the backsplash, I removed the sticker part from the back, then I would apply the spray adhesive. Once it was tacky, which it gets tacky in a couple of seconds, then I would apply it to the wall, and I'm going to be using the scraper, but I'm rolling down the blade. I'm not using the blade. I'm just using it as if it were a squeegee to apply some pressure and to make sure it presses on great. Then I would remove the protective plastic which comes on the top. I was doing that at the end because some of the glue from my fingers was getting on my backsplash. So I would rather the glue stick onto the protective layer or the protective plastic, and then I would remove it at the end. On your backsplash sheet, you're going to have to cut with your scissors a rectangle for the outlets. I would suggest you cut a small rectangle, and then your guide is going to be the tiles that are painted on the front of the sheet. Just cut a little bit. It's easier to cut less than to cut more. I made a mistake the first time. I wouldn't want you to make the same mistake and for those extra sheets to go to waste. As you can see, I'm using the squeegee, and then at the end, I'm removing the protective plastic as I go. Please take your time with this. It does require a bit of patience, but if you make a mistake, don't worry, just peel it off, add more spray adhesive, and place it again. Sometimes there could be some air bubbles trapped inside, or sometimes you didn't align it as well. That's okay. Take it off and spray some more of that spray adhesive and place it once again, because once it's on, you want it there and you don't want it to be removed. As I mentioned, I've had this for 2 years and they are in great shape still. So please do take your time with this. If you have to watch several other videos to learn how to do it, that's okay. It's better to take your time and learn as much as you can. That way you get it done right the first time. Yay, we finally have our backsplash on and it looks great. Now it's time to clean the kitchen cabinets. To start off, first step, you're going to make sure that you clean those kitchen cabinets. That way the paint could stay on. You can either use anything that you use to clean grease or dust from your kitchen cabinets. I'm going to be using the TSP, which is recommended before you apply paint. You have to mix it with water. So I poured it into a spray bottle. I'm also going to be using the Goof Off, which is a great cleaner, not only to get rid of grease, but I've been using it a lot to clean my home lately since I discovered it. So I've been using it for about 2 years now. I use the Goof Off, the TSP, and I also wanted to give it an extra clean, so I'm using my mixture, which is vinegar, Dawn dish soap, and water. Then I'm going to be using a cloth just to get rid of all that grease, and I also used a butter knife and a napkin to get into the hard to reach areas. Then I'm going to be putting my painter's tape. Now this can be a bit hard to do because you don't want the paint to bleed, but make sure you do it right. That way your paint doesn't bleed when you're painting. This is also something that might take you quite a while to do and one of the most boring parts. You can also double that painter's tape. The painter's tape that I use is the blue one, which I still felt like it bled in some areas, which is why I would suggest you use double of that painter's tape. Once you have cleaned all of your kitchen cabinets, what you're going to use is you're going to use a sanding sponge or some sanding paper. This time I purchased some sanding paper and I put it into a block that I purchased separately, which one of my cousins was telling me that you can buy like a sander, like an electric one, and they're not that expensive. They cost $20 at Walmart. So next time around, if I do decide to clean my paint my kitchen cabinets, I will probably purchase that little machine because it takes quite a while and you want to try and find anything that'll make this process so much faster, easier to do in less time. All this process took me about 3 days since I was doing this on my own, and I had to take breaks in between to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner and to be with my little one as well. So it was quite a bit of a process. Another thing that I would have changed is instead of using a paintbrush, I think I would buy the spray gun. It's gonna make the painting process so much faster also. If I could say that there's something that I did not like about these tile adhesives is that at the end of the edges, it has these letters where it says apply here. That I did not like because I had to cover mine and you can't really tell where it is, but I'll show you up close what I mean by that. I decided to add the black splash tile just to this side of the kitchen. I like how it looks. I know I could have added it under the other kitchen cabinet that's on the other side of the kitchen sink, but this is how I've had it for 2 years. I think it looks good. I think it also matches with the black kitchen cabinets as well. Now the first ones that I purchased from Amazon, they were a bit thick and these were very thin and I was pretty iffy. I'm like, I don't know if I like these thin ones. They're too thin. I mean, I thought they were going to be peeling off because I had that bad experience with the first ones, which I really like the design on these. If I had the chance to purchase some other ones, I think I would have sticked with these. They're a very nice design. At first I didn't like them, but I got used to them. I think they look nice. They've lasted 2 years already. When I clean them with a damp cloth. It's not as easy to clean, but I feel like not much grease sticks onto them. I'm okay with the way it looks now. I think that I would like to, in the future, possibly paint it maybe white, but I don't know, it was a lot of hard work. And one thing I would have done differently, I used a paintbrush. It took me so long to paint these kitchen cabinets. It took me about 3 days. So I think I would have bought like a spray painting gun machine. I think I would have done that because there's some cheap ones on Amazon, but then again, that's the one we used to paint our closet, and I guess that's another different story there because we also painted the room, but then once we used it twice, like it was no longer good. So I mean, you could buy a cheap one and it'll probably last you like one paint job and then you have to throw it away. I don't know what you guys are going to be painting them with, but I think a good choice is to use the spray gun, but I didn't have one, so I had to use the paintbrush, which I don't know, I guess it turned out okay. If you guys have any questions and if there's anything I can help you guys, I will get back to you guys right away. So please leave me a comment below asking me anything. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end. Take care, guys. May God bless you all, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. I really don't know what else to just add the black splash. Ugh.